Yo, what's going on, guys? Rhys here from More Than Lifting with the More Than Lifting podcast. Conversations about calisthenics, bodyweight training, gymnastics, all that good stuff. I'm Rhys, personal trainer and founder of More Than Lifting from the UK. And what else? Yeah, what great stuff. So, in this episode, there we go, there's my words. We're talking about training, bodyweight training, calisthenics training outdoors, okay? There's lots of stuff to talk about. We're going to go into where you can train, the advantages, disadvantages, what kind of limitations you have with exercises, and a couple of other things probably. This is part 3 of a 3-part series. The last 2 episodes we spoke about training at the gym and training at home, advantages and disadvantages of each, what kind of stuff you can use, all that good stuff. Don't forget to go and check those out. You can check them out on right where you're listening from right now. Isn't that amazing? So, training outdoors. First off, I think, where can you train? There are loads of great places to go training outdoors. The first one is the most obvious. You get outdoor training places, loads of bodyweight training parks. They're popping up all over the world. Fantastic. If you follow me on the socials, you'll see me doing lots of training at the Freeletics Park in Amsterdam, which is just amazing. It's right by a river. Well, there's actually a river both sides, close enough to the city centre to be right there, you know. It's not an issue. Go check it out. If you're ever in Amsterdam, go down there. But the same kind of thing, these kind of bodyweight parks, they pop up all over the place. I've got one in my local area. You've probably got one in your local area. You should definitely go and check them out. They might be called like parkour parks, outdoor gyms, you know. They can dress them up however they like. You got P bars there, you got pull-up bars there. It might be made of scaffolding, it might not. They might be crazy colours, it might all be concrete. I don't know, I haven't been there. Go and check it out and tell me. Send me pictures of you at your outdoor training spot. Okay, so that's the first one, outdoor gyms. All right, these are great because they are specifically made for bodyweight training. That doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect for everything, but most likely you'll have a pull-up bar or a high bar, a low-ish bar or P-bars, so you can basically do everything. You also have your floor space, so that's cool too. As you know, you can do loads of stuff on the floor. So that's absolutely brilliant. If you've got one of them by you, just go there, it's perfect. If you've got something close around like a park, right, so parks are the next one, you can also go and check them out. So when I was living up in Cardiff, the park literally outside where I was living had like a track going round. So if you just walk the circumference of the park, every kind of couple of 100 meters, you bump into a little training thing. All right, it'll be like this little obstacle or something, and there'll be some instructions of different exercises you can do based on that circuit that they've initially, whoever set it up, kind of set out for. All right, and they're all over the place. You see them in parks, probably in your local city or town. There might be something around which you can use. And there's been this other thing, right, in Britain recently, all right, which is going back to outdoor gyms, by the way. I should have put that in first. There's this bit where people have been putting like your typical kind of gym machines. So you've got like a press, you've got a chest press, a shoulder press, you've got like some leg press kind of things, and they've kind of been cropping up everywhere as well. Like they're pretty, I mean, they're all right, but they're pretty shit if you ask me personally. It's better than nothing. You can probably still do pull-ups and dips and stuff there, but I mean, they're pretty, they're not designed for bodyweight training. They're not really designed for like doing all your calisthenics and your gymnastics stuff. So like be wary of them. And it's not that you can't go and use them, use the facilities by all means, but you might have to bodge a few exercises to be able to do some workouts. So anyway, back to parks. You might find at your local park that there's one of these tracks, or a park near you that there's one of these kind of circuits built into the park. It's fantastic. There might be a pull-up bar. There might be a lower kind of single bar, like one at hip height, one at kind of pull-up height. That's all you need. If you've got one of them, you can do your leg raises, you can do your hanging, you can do your pull-ups, you can do muscle-ups, you can do levers, you can do flags if you want, you can do your rows, you can do single bar dips, you can do loads and loads of stuff, all right? So they're absolutely amazing. people won't be down there loads. Yeah, in the summer, okay, that it'll be busy because it's a park, but it's not like you'll be in a queue to use the pull-up bar at any point, because everyone else, it's going to be kids going past or whatever, or people on bikes and stuff like that, or people running, and they're not going to be stopping to do pull-ups and dips, or it's very unlikely. So they're really good. The next one, then, the last one, is like playgrounds and kids parks. Now, pre-warning and a bit of a disclaimer, these aren't ideal, all right, because usually it's for the kids, all right, and that's not like, it's just a bit awkward, all right, and that's the truth of it. If you're just going down there, you're doing all your pull-ups, and like they're trying to go on the swings, you're getting in the way, and you don't want to just a pre-warning, because I don't want anyone getting in trouble for something stupid, like. But yeah, so playgrounds, they're still really good, and like your local park or whatever, you might have some goalposts up all the time, which you can use for like your pull-ups, and if you get up there, you can use them for your dips and stuff as well. So that's an option. You can kind of board your park bench into like some rows or something if you're willing to get all sorts of shit up your back. Not recommended, but there are things you can do around your park. You can use swings for pull-ups, you can use swings for hanging leg raises. They probably have a fireman's pole. You can do some flag training. You can use loads of the thing about the kids parks is there are loads of crazy little obstacles, and you can just be creative with stuff. You can do like single leg squat jumps or something, down like where they've got some like little tree stumps up for like a walkway in part of an obstacle course, so you can have loads of fun, but the truth is usually there's kids there, so that makes it a bit awkward. But they are great, they are quite fun just to throw in every now and then. It's not like you can use them all the time, so it's not like you can just use that as your training place and that's it, unless you have a schedule that works with schools where you can go there in the day when there's no kids about, or you go late at night when there's no kids about, and then it's great. If you also don't have the gym around you, or the money for the gym, or no like outdoor training gym near you, like a calisthenics park, or you can't get kit at home for whatever reason, you can still use parks. You can still use like the ground outside in your garden or whatever. Like ultimately there's no excuse to be doing bodyweight training, but if you're struggling with stuff and you just need to do something right now, go down your local park, use the swings, use something else down there for some dips, just like a low railings, a great bike lock kind of railing things. They're usually about shoulder width apart. You can do dips on them right outside the shop or something. I don't know, you can do your supported leg raises on them. So there are loads of ways you can kind of bodge stuff with just not objects, but structural kind of stuff that's around. There's by me there's this little trail kind of bridleway path, and down there there's this little bridge, and they've got key clamping, which is like what your outdoor gyms are made of, like all this key clamping for like railings, and they've only got a top one, and the vertical bars, so you can use that for single bar dips, you can use that for loads of training stuff, and so that's right kind of close to me. That's really cool. I can go down there whenever I like. No one really goes down there except when they're walking their dog. That's great. So there are loads of opportunities for training out in the real world as well, and you can just, wherever you are, whether you're on holiday, whether you're on a work thing like a hotel, there's no excuse to just go out somewhere quickly, like in your training shorts and your high-vis vest or whatever. Have a little jog down there, and while no one's looking, do loads of calisthenics, and no one will know that you no one will notice because you're disguised as a jogger. So the next thing then is the advantages of training outdoors. First thing is no cost. All right, like you're not paying anyone for this. Okay, if there's like an outdoor gym facility, maybe your taxes have gone towards it at some point, but really there's no cost for you going training there. You don't have to pay gym fees. You don't have to buy any gear. I mean, you can buy, you get your liquid chalk or like a chalk ball for your hands. You can get like a weighted vest or your resistance bands or some rings even, if you're crazy. But really there's no cost to just going down your park now, going down your local park, or going out and finding some, improvised training facilities and going crazy. So go and do it. The next thing, right, the next advantage is that it's close to home. All right, this is kind of optional because it's up to you how close you're willing to go to home or to wherever you're staying at any particular time to go and do some training. There might be something just outside your house, like that'll do, that could be great. A lamppost doing some flag stuff or something, or you might have something close enough to home that is closer than the gym, or it's like just around the corner. It's not really an issue for you logistically to get there and do something, so that's great as well. Disadvantages, however, and the thing about outdoors is that you're outdoors, so there's a few disadvantages. Number one being the weather. Okay, you look like an absolute animal if you're out there in the pissing rain, hurricanes, thunderstorms and tsunamis and all sorts, but ultimately the weather can be demotivating. All right, and going out and getting wet and like training loads, you don't want to get ill, so you got to use your head. Don't do stupid shit. And just go out and do training. All right, but it's a disadvantage being at mercy to the weather, especially here in the UK and I guess in a lot of parts of Europe as well. But maybe not some parts of America or Southern Europe and closer to the equator. But the truth is, like around here, like half the year you can't train outdoors, so you need another way, like at home. Genius. So the next disadvantage is bodge facilities. All right, if you're training outdoors and you don't have a calisthenics park near you and you're just going round down the bridleway where there's a railing, that is a bodge and a half. You can still do loads of stuff. Ultimately, you are limited in what you can do right there and then with your training, so maybe you will struggle to do loads of pull-ups. Stuff. So you might have to have little workarounds, which will mean that you might need to get your pull-up bar for at home, or you might not and do pull-ups somewhere else, or you might go to the park or whatever. But bodge facilities, especially at like a kids park, is definitely going to be bodge facilities there. So just something to bear in mind. You've got to think about how you're balancing your training as well, and to make sure that you're hitting all your movement patterns and working on your skills. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to overwhelm you with stuff, but you've got to think about it. If you're going to be training there long term, what are you able to do in any particular spot? If you're bodging facilities now, imagine later on you might be bodging even more. But don't let that stop your training, obviously. And the last disadvantage then for training outdoors is people. All right, and it might be you sometimes. It might be 1,000 kids on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday afternoon or weekends at any time. But ultimately, there are going to be people around. If you're a bit self-conscious of training outdoors in front of people, it's not like everyone's looking at you or anything like that, so that shouldn't really worry you. If it does, and it worries a lot of people, that can be a disadvantage, a heavy disadvantage. One of the places where I used to train is literally on display, and like you do, it's not that you feel self-conscious training or whatever, but especially with calisthenics, like it's easy to kind of feel a bit like that if you're working on stuff that is out of your reach. If you can't do a front lever, it's not like some of the stars of Instagram. You're not going down the gym and then just busting out 1,000 front lever, 10-second front lever, whole front lever pull-ups and 15 muscle ups and 20 planches in a row. So you're going to be working on stuff like you would in the gym, like struggling with your reps, like struggling with your skills, getting a bit frustrated, like using it, channeling it. But it's easy to think, I'm not going to work on that because I'm not that good at it. I'm not going to work on this because I'm struggling with it, or I'm too fatigued or whatever. But having loads of people around, having people walking past all the time while you're trying to concentrate, having kids shout at you or kind of get involved and get in your way when you're trying to do your pull-ups on the swings, like, you know what I mean? How rude. But it can be an issue. It's a big disadvantage for training outdoors for obvious reasons. People are great, but at the same time, people are a pain in the ass sometimes too. And that goes for me as well, by the way, guys. So sorry if I've been rambling on in this episode. I don't think I have. I think I've actually blitzed through this compared to the last one anyway. So that's about it then, guys. Talking about training outdoors, you can go down the park, you can go down to a playground, you can go down outdoor gyms, you can bodge some facilities out of local bridleways, walkways, the shops, like anything. Get creative. It's really fun training outdoors. It's no cost. It's close to home usually 90% of the time. It's close to where you're staying, just as long as it's not raining. All right, that's it for this episode, guys. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the More Than Lifting podcast. Share it with your mates and training partners and anyone else who you think will benefit from learning about this stuff and just hearing me say some stupid shit. If you want, who cares, right? It's all good. It's all for fun. And check me out on the socials at More Than Lifting everywhere. DM me if you got any questions, comments, or whatever. I'd love to start a conversation with you. And if you want any tips, feel free to send me videos of your training and ask me questions. I've done that with loads of people, so there's no reason it can't be you as well. If you want to contact me directly, like I said, DM or Rhys Morgan at morethanlifting.com. Otherwise, check out morethanlifting.com/podcast for all the show notes, and 100 push-up challenge as well, running all year. Check that out, morethanlifting.com/100 challenge. All right, that's it, guys. Until Thursday, which is only in a couple of days now, when the next episode comes out, every Monday and Thursday, guys. By the way, remember that started, so we're being strict. We're sticking to this schedule, and I think it'll be good for everyone. So I'll chat to you Thursday. And if you want to turn your training upside down, go to morethanlifting.com/12 weeks and sign up for the 12-week program. It's absolutely mental. It'll take you from level 0 to a bodyweight athlete in 3 months. Okay, but it is a killer. It's not for the weak-hearted. So if you've got a bit of grit and you really want to get some serious results, get involved, and I'll speak to you on the inside. Otherwise, keep in touch with yourselves, and catch you on Thursday.